Hey, it's Diane. I own Swiss Properties. I also am rehabbing properties, more single family, but I'm looking for multifamily. And I just got done with being at a rehab. I've been there for probably the last 2 weeks, just managing it. And I've done a few rehabs, probably 6 or 7 rehabs so far. And there's always something to learn. I had to fire 2 contractors, and I just hate firing people. And what I wanted to do was start a YouTube channel about the down and dirty of rehabbing and actual real estate investing and everything in between. So I wholesale real estate to rehabbers. I also wholesale to landlords or even end buyers. And I've done rehabs before I even became a wholesaler. I also was a landlord before I became a wholesaler. So wholesaling real estate is whenever you get a property under contract and for purchase. You can use, here in Texas, you can use a 1 to 4 family tract. And then you assign it with an assignment contract to a new buyer. You have to put as your buyer like Swiss Properties and or assigns for both title companies to take it and allow you to sign it, even though Texas contracts are assignable. You use the assignment contract showing your fee, and that's if it's not a double close. Some people double close, some people assign. So it just depends on what you want to do. But there's no risk really. Your option fee is what you risk. You pay an option fee. Mine usually are about $10. So $10 to $100 maybe. So it's not much, and it's an option to be able to try to assign it. But you should, with good intentions, want to close on it if you can't get it assigned. But there's no risk. And if you find out there's more going on with it than you thought, it's so much better. Because you can just get out of it. You're not buying the rehab, then like halfway through it find out there's like plumbing issues because of leveling or whatever it may be. Well, I went ahead and I've messed up on a few rehabs. I bought this one. I like the ones that are just cosmetic rehab. There's a lot less that comes up, and you can get in and out a lot quicker. So 30 days or less are like the ones I like to go after. Here in San Antonio, where I'm at, there are a lot of houses that could be full rehabs, and I guess any area where there's some history, you're going to have the older homes that were built in like the late 1800s and early 1900s that just have some really cool features in architecture, but almost everything has to be done to it. So I go for the ones that are like 1980 and above. I have one right now, and I'm still learning the whole hiring contractors phase. The correct people for the right jobs, because everybody thinks they're great at what they do. And you also have to find contractors that fit your type of personality. And then also you have to understand, you being the boss, sometimes people are going to talk crap no matter what you do. Yeah, you're never going to be perfect. So as a boss, you just have to understand that. I like to think of myself as a leader, but you do have to wear a hat of, when it comes down to it, somebody needs to be telling people what needs to be done. Contractors don't really work as, lead me and motivate me and leave me for the day and I'll get it done. That's more other entrepreneurs. Contractors work more like somebody's got to be here to watch me, to make sure I'm even doing what I'm saying I'm going to do, kind of situation. And I don't like doing that part, but I'm doing it right now. I'm not a micromanager, but I noticed that they need to be told every little thing that needs to be done as easy as possible. And I'm not trying to say anybody's stupid, but by saying that, it's just they have to have everything like checklists. Like if you say, texture and paint this room, if you come back and you didn't say, make sure you tape it off, make sure you don't texture the light sockets. No, make sure you don't texture the fan. You know, like, they will actually texture an entire fan. They will texture light switches. They will texture a child if a child was standing there. Like, I don't know what's up with that. But I'm used to dealing with people before that I could say something and know that there'd be some level of, yeah, of course she would want this done too, you know. But no. If you tell them to insulate the attic, you actually have to tell them to unroll the insulation. Don't just throw the insulation up there, like literally still in the plastic package, throw it up there and let it sit there. That's not putting insulation in the attic, even though technically it is. So whatever you literally say, they will literally do. And so you have to be very specific of what you want. And but then they'll also tell people they don't like to be micromanaged. Now, I don't think I've ever been guilty of being called that. Just more like, she doesn't give enough of the instruction. Like, maybe more that, which I'm not sure if that's even said. I don't know what's all said about it. I don't know. I just assume that just being the boss, people say stuff. But I want to say all this for people who are getting into rehabbing and getting into real estate investing. I've been doing it. I bought my first house at 19, and I rehabbed that small house, and actually it was a big double wide. It was 5-bedroom, 3-bath, but I learned a lot about plumbing, some minor electrical. Well, almost in that house there was like a little bit of everything to do. So, and then I built my own little shed. I get really creative, so I do more than what you would expect, probably just looking at me, what I could do. But I'm just one of those, like, if I'm going to ask somebody to do it, I better be able to do it too. And I've done little things like that along the way. And then when I found out about wholesaling, I was all about it. Because I was like, what? And I actually make my most money wholesaling, and I've done quite well in it. My first year, I was already in 6 figures. Second year, I was doing better. And then this is my 3rd year, and still I keep on increasing. So that's good. I can tell you, when you build teams, there's a lot to learn along the way. But now I'm rehabbing more often. And just the different types of people you work with is really interesting. And what I would have to say is, you always have to blame yourself for what you're dealing with. But if they suck, and you know they suck, and they're lazy, don't give them a whole bunch of chances to prove that. If they're already proving that from the very beginning, if that's their first impression that they're giving you, that means it's only going to get worse from there, right? Most people are the best they can be in the first impressions. And if that's what they have to show you, don't expect it to get better. Let them go. And that's one of the hardest things, because I see potential in everybody. But what you have to do is stick with your gut, especially if you're a woman. Your gut's telling you something, don't go against it. You're going to always regret it. And when you hire people, ask other people for referrals. The best people they're not going to give you, because they usually want to keep them, are the rehabbers, or they'll have their own construction teams. But if you're like, hey, if you got somebody that knows somebody that wants to get hired, let me know. Sometimes you'll find people who are willing to let you borrow some of their people. That usually doesn't happen, though. Not the good ones. And you got to find your good ones. And just know that anybody, even if they recommend somebody, you have to make sure that they fit your personality. Because one person may not mind that somebody leaves for a day and does another job. You may. So you have to be very specific on what you're looking for. Know your core values and what your company, your rehab company is. Don't ever forget your end goal. You may have to review it several times. But just know that people are people. Everybody makes mistakes. But at the same time, do they have the character and the characteristics you need for them to be a good fit for your team long term? And if they don't, it's okay to let them go. You don't have to keep those kind of people on. You may have to go through a lot of contractors. There's going to be some people who will project on you, a lot of people actually, and they're going to be like, it's your fault you're going through all these contractors. Yeah, you're firing them, but overall, you may have to kiss a lot of frogs, but you're going to find your prince. Don't think that you have to marry the first contractors you find. You go through as many as you need to and get better and better. You can't blame it all on them. You have to get better and better at knowing what you want, seeing what you want in people before you hire them. Don't be so quick to hire people, but be quick to fire them. And like I said earlier, you have to take accountability. You have to take responsibility for your part. In every part, you play a part. So you have to see what you're doing so you can continue to learn better. I see people get mad at other people and want to blame other people. The moment you're blaming somebody, you're giving away your power. You are acting like you're some victim, that something bad happened and you had no control over it. Don't do that. You're not going to get better giving away your power. And you're definitely not going to get better not recognizing how you can make changes to make things better. It's not always about everybody else. Some people can suck. Yes. But don't also suck, because then everything's going to suck. That's just kind of what I wanted to say right now, because I'm dealing with a lot of contracting. I actually found 3 good ones in there. They've been on for more of the length of the project, but it's even wholesaling, team building, everything. You want to know exactly what you need first so that you can find it and recognize it and then get rid of everything else ultimately. And don't take anything personally. In your spot, a lot of people don't even understand where you're coming from. You're going to feel lonely because everybody working with you doesn't understand your budgets, your timelines. Even if you explain it to them, they don't get it until they do it themselves. Most of them never do it themselves. So you can't expect everyone to understand where you're coming from. And to get frustrated for that is, well, it's unnecessary stress and frustration. It's just understanding that that's where they're coming from. It's like trying to explain bills to your kids. Kids don't get it. They won't ever get it. They're still going to ask you for stuff and ask you for money. Well, some may get it, but not when they're 2 or something. And some people just don't understand until they've done something or been through something. And no matter how many times you try to explain, okay, this is the budget, we're waiting for the draw, or my private lender won't give me money until this is done, whatever it is, they don't care. They just need to know what they need to do, and that's as far as you need to take it. And I used to tell them everything thinking that would help out. No, it doesn't. It's just like telling your child all your budget and your bills. Like, that doesn't help them out. That stresses them out too. Even though you think that maybe you can work as a team, there's certain people that you tell certain information to, and then others just a need to know basis. And the simpler you can keep it for contracting, the better it's going to be. This comes from somebody who can talk way too much and say way too much thinking I'm getting through. But yeah, so it was a hard lesson. Well, I'm wanting to do this channel more often. I'm probably gonna look like this most of the time. Sometimes okay. But if you guys liked it, like the video below, and let me know what you thought and what kind of information you would like to know about rehabbing, because I'm just gonna be down and dirty on it, and I will start recording some of this stuff too so you guys can see it. Bye.